Hello, welcome to this class. So last time we looked at fractions, the different types of fractions, and we looked at addition of like fractions. Today we are going to look at the concept of probability. We are looking at the what? The concept of probability. Probability talks about things or the chances of occurrence of an event. If an event has a chance to occur, we say that then it's a probability. Okay? So probability talks about the chance of occurrence of an event. How possible is it that you will go to school? The higher the possibility, then we say that the higher the probability of going to school. What is the chance that you will see an elephant in your environment? Is there any high chance of seeing an elephant in your environment? Then that is probability. So probability simply means the possibility of an event to happen. Okay? So here we say that probability tells us how likely something is to happen in the nearest future. The likelihood of an event to occur is what we call probability. How likely is it that you will eat pizza tonight? Very likely. Is it very likely? Then it's probability. Okay? Since you are not sure that you will eat, you may eat or you may not eat. No. It's a thing of chance. It is probability. Probability talks about things of chance. The possibility of an event can be eating pizza, an event can be sleeping tonight, an event can be watching your favorite movie tonight, an event can be running down the stairs tonight, an event can be going to the kitchen to do the dishes. The possibility of an event to occur is what we call probability. Okay? Now, for example, we said that imagine you reach into similar bags containing a set of shapes. Now, the question now says, circle the best answer to each question below using 4 keywords. And the 4 keywords we are going to use in knowing the chance or the rate of chance an event have to occur are likely, unlikely, certain, impossible. Now let's first of all talk about these keywords. We say that an event has the likelihood to occur if it has a greater percent of occurrence. Okay? Okay, let's say for example, if we are in rainy season and we say, what is the probability that it's going to rain today? So the probability that it's going to rain today is high. It's likely. Why? Because the conditions that makes rainy season are there. Rainy season we are in rainy season already. So the conditions are there for rain to fall. Okay? So we'll say that it is likely for rain to fall. Okay? If, let's say we are in snow time, what is the probability for we to experience snow? If we are in snow time, we say, yes, snow is likely to fall today. Because it may fall or it may not fall, but likely because it has a higher chance of occurring. Okay? Now, when we talk about unlikely as a keyword, unlikely is always used to describe events that has a very low chance of happening. A very low chance of happening. Okay? Okay? Okay, let's say, for example, what is the probability that you are going to cry today or tonight? What is the probability that you are going to cry tonight? Our parents don't want us to cry. So it's very, very small chance that we will cry. maybe something might make us to cry, but it is not must that we will cry. For us to cry, it has a very little chance of occurring. So we use unlikely. It's unlikely for us to cry because what will make us cry? I say it. It's unlikely, but you cannot say it's not possible, and you can't say it's certain because we as human beings cry. Human beings cry, right? So in as much as we cry, you can't say it is not possible for we to cry because maybe we are running down the stairs and we fall. We start crying. I say it. But what is the chance of we falling on the stairs to make us cry? We are not seeing it happening, so it's unlikely to happen. Then when we talk about certain, we are certain, meaning that it is a must that that thing will happen. We are sure of it 100%. Everything around that is there already for it to happen. What is certain? What is the probability that you are a girl? It's certain you are a girl. You know you are a girl. What is the probability that Mr. Martins is a boy or a man? It's certain I'm a man. Am I going to change to a girl? Impossible. What is the probability that I'm a woman? Then comes the fourth keyword. It is impossible that I'll be a woman, no matter what I do. Very, very impossible. But am I a man? Yes, certain I am a man. So when we use likely is when the thing has a higher chance of occurring, unlikely, the chances of occurrence is low, certain when it is there, impossible when it has no chance of occurring. Now let's look at these exercises here. We can see that in this bag contains two shapes, triangles and a square or rectangle, depending on what you see. Triangles and square. How many triangles are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 triangles and 1 square. Now, the question now says, what is the probability of choosing a rectangle or a square? What is the probability of choosing, let's call this rectangle, a rectangle? If you dip your hand inside the bag, what is the probability that it's a rectangle you take? Remember, I said likely when it has a higher chance of happening, unlikely when it has a lesser chance of happening, certain when it is the only thing there, impossible when it is not there. So looking at this, you will notice that there is only one rectangle, but there are many triangles. So what is the probability that we choose a rectangle from there? We will say it is likely. Why is it likely? Because there are few rectangles and there are more triangles. So it's likely. Why didn't I take impossible? Because that thing is there. Okay? The conditions we are considering, it is there. So in as much as it is present, but it is present in a very small amount, then we say that it is unlikely for us to choose. Looking at the second box, you see that in this bag, there is nothing inside, no shape inside. And the question is asking you, what is the probability of choosing a triangle inside a bag of empty shapes? Inside a bag that has no shape, an empty bag. Is it possible? You say that it is impossible because there is no shape in the bag. Okay? It is impossible to choose a triangle from a room that has no shape or that contains no shape. Alright? Now looking at number 3, we see that this bag contains only circles. No other shape. Only circular shapes. And the question says, what is the probability of choosing a circle? What do you think? It has only circular shapes. So what is the probability that when you dip your hand and break out a circle? It is certain. It is certain that we'll get circle because the bag only contains circles. Okay? Good. Then finally, number 4 says, what is the probability of choosing a triangle from this bag? Now here, this bag contains two shapes, triangles and squares or rectangles. Now let's count. How many triangles are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many rectangles are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one is more in number? Triangle, right? And it's asking us, what is the probability of choosing a triangle? It is likely, because triangles are more in number, so they have a higher chance of being picked from the bag. Okay? Alright, this is going to be a very short question. So this is introducing us to the concept of probability. It is a mathematics of chance. Whether you are doing it in mathematics or it is in real life, the chance, the rate at which something has the possibility of happening is called probability. In our next class, or when we see in our life class, we will talk about probability fractions. Now we'll bring in fractions into it. So we take our knowledge from the fractions we learned last week into learning probability fractions. Okay? Alright. So rewatch the videos again and again to understand all I've just explained about the 4 keywords: likely, unlikely, certain, impossible. Likely is used when the object to pick are more than every other object. Unlikely is used when the objects we want to pick are small, they are fewer than every other object. Certain is used when it is only that particular object that is contained in the sample, and impossible is used when the object to be picked is not a set in the sample. It's not in the sample at all. It's not inside the bag. We say that it is impossible for this to happen. What is the possibility or the probability that you will see a lion in your room? Is it possible? No, because your room is not a zoo. Okay? But what is the possibility or the probability that you will see a lion in the zoo? It is likely, because there are so many animals in the zoo and you might see a lion. What is the probability that you see a lion in a very big forest? It is unlikely, depending on how far you go to the forest. It's unlikely. If the forest is, let's say in Nigeria, you know, Nigerian forest doesn't have lions that much. I'm not even sure there are lions in Nigeria. So if there are no lions in the forest, then you will unlikely get to see one. Because why unlikely? Because it's a forest. A lion might have traveled from another forest inside that place, and you see it. Okay? So watch the videos again and again so that you understand more on the concept of probability. See you in our live class. Cheers. Thank you.